Okay, the next part of the lesson is the standard error of proportion. So when you take one sample and you get a proportion, that doesn't mean that's the proportion for the whole population. You would take many, many samples. So for instance, for the M&Ms, if I were trying to find the number of proportion of green M&Ms in a bag of M&Ms, I might take 25 bags of M&Ms, find the proportion in all those bags, and then average those proportions out, and that would give me a better idea of the population proportion. Well, in general, we're going to be off by a little bit from the actual population proportion, and that formula to tell us how far we're off is called the standard error of proportions. They're just standard error, but in this case for proportions, it's a different formula than for means. So for this one, it's square root of p hat times 1 minus p hat, which we already calculated, or you'll be given, over the sample size. And you just put that all in your calculator at once. And I don't have access to an online calculator anymore, so I'm just going to trust that you can figure that out. Okay, so let's read the problem. If 540 out of 3,600 high school grads who answer a survey indicate they intend to enter the military, what is the standard error of proportion for this sample population to the nearest hundredth? Okay, so let's see. In this case, we need to know p hat, so I'm going to have to calculate that first. So p hat is just going to be x over n, so 540 over 3,600. And that turns out to be 0.15, I believe. Yeah, 0.15. So p hat is 0.15, so I put that in the SEP formula. And that's going to be square root 0.15, and 1 minus 0.15 is 0.85 over n, which was 3,600. And put that in your calculator, or round to the nearest hundredth, so it would be second x squared, 0.15 times 0.85 divided by 3,600, and you can put that all in at once, no parentheses necessary. That rounds to 0.0059, so 0.006, which was to the nearest hundred would be 0.01. So the SEP would be 0.01. Now what does that actually mean? Well, that means if a sample proportion is 0.15, and we got that, and then you could be off by plus 0.01 or minus 0.01, so 0.16 and 0.14. So somewhere between 0.14 or 14% and 16% of graduates go into the military. Okay, stop the video and then do the try it. So we've got a survey of the same thing. So we already know p hat because we did that in the last video. So p hat was 0.5. So we're going to do 0.5 times 0.5 over n, which is 423. And that's going to be second x squared, 0.5 times 0.5 divided by 423. And we get 0.02. So in this case, did I do that right? Yeah. So in this case, between 0.5 minus 0.02 would be 0.48 and 0.52. 48 and 52% prefer math to English. Okay, so we're going to stop there and then do the last